Hello everyone and welcome to my preview of Back to the Future the Game, episode 5 Outatime. Episode 5 is the finale, the final chapter, the final episode of Back to the Future the Game. I am so excited for this last one to come out, and kind of sad that it's going to be the last one. There's going to be no new Back to the Future story after this, so it's a bit sad, but I can't wait to see what's going to happen. Now, the preview for episode 5, a little preview that we get at the end of episode 4, is very short, like the one we got at the end of episode 3 for episode 4. It was very short, and this one, it's very clear what the preview is trying to tell you. It's not trying to lead you off. It seems like it's very clear what the motive of some of the characters is going to be in the next episode. So I'll just let you guys watch it right now, and then I'll go through it and tell you guys what I think.
Let me explain it again. I realized that it wasn't Edna that made my life miserable. It was science. She used my science to turn Hill Valley into a police state. If Emmett doesn't go through with a demonstration at the expo, his dreams of being a scientist will dim just enough for Edna to step back into his life and steer him down another path.
Doc.
Okay, so in that, it's pretty clear what the message is, and for the time being, when I don't really have any new footage to show, I'll just be showing some old gameplay footage for this video while I ramble on about it. I have to do that for this preview because this preview, it doesn't really show anything hidden. It's not just bits of random dialogue. This one is like a whole, just one person talking, which is Doc, so it's very hard for me to pick up any extra hidden things that you guys didn't see. You pretty much saw the whole thing. So now I'll let you guys know what I thought of it.
Curious. Oh wait, don't touch it. It's evidence.
It's been very, very clear that the person, the main villain for episode 5 is Doc, or Citizen Brown. And that really shocked me in the end, because I knew once Doc went off in episode 4, when he ran off, I knew that something was going to happen with him. That he would change the timeline or interfere in some way, and that didn't necessarily happen, but it's looking like it's going to happen. Because at the end of the game, just before the preview, he had the time machine. Doc had the time machine, which means he wants to change the timeline and stop Emmett from getting into science, and Marty wants to make Emmett get into science, and Marty had fixed the timeline, but now Doc wants to change it, and he is the one who has the time machine, so he's the one who has the power and seems to be able to do anything that he wants. So that's going to be very interesting. And in the description for episode 5, I don't know what the exact one is, but it mentions a chase through Hill Valley's past, present, and future. A chase throughout time. So the person that you're chasing, it sounds like it's very clear that it's Doc, Citizen Brown. So I don't know if Marty's going to find another way of time travel or how it's going to work, but it sounds very interesting that if the person who he's chasing has the time machine, how is Marty going to get around through time? Because it's going to be very interesting that there's two people trying to change the timeline at the same time. We've never really had anything like this with Back to the Future ever. In the movies, there was always the clear goal of just trying to change the timeline, but in this one, there's two people trying to change it down different paths. Will this end up affecting the timeline in the end? It could well do that, because it's very, very hard to predict for this, because it's so new for Back to the Future. It's very strange having Doc as the villain, but I think they've gone down a good path because it is something really unique.
But I'm sure they were in there before. Before who?
With all that aside though, I really do hope that the ending to the series is a happy ending, like it was in Back to the Future Part 3, because it'd be a real shame to see the series end on a sad note. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Back to the Future the Game, episode 5 Outatime, and what I think will happen. Please let me know in the comment section down below what you think is going to happen in episode 5. That's it from me, guys. I'm Dippareviews. I'll see you guys next time.